Hello everybody, my name's the Jurassic Insider, and welcome back to Jurassic World the game. Hello everybody, so for today's episode, this is episode 15, another kind of quote-unquote minor milestone, which is kind of what I'm going to go with for these kind of episodes. But this episode, it's very different, let me tell you. And we're going to be doing something that I really didn't expect to be doing, but guess what? I thought it was a cool idea, so we're going to do it. And today, I'm going to be giving my top 10 tips for Jurassic World, the game. This is going to be for starters, beginners, it can be for experienced players, moderate players, whatever you are, whoever you are. There's probably some tip for you in this video. And I'm going to be giving off those 10, basically from the least complex to the most complex. Now you might be wondering, wait, hold on, you're only at like level 15 in this game. How could you be giving us advice? Well, the thing is, this isn't my only account. This is the account for my YouTube series, of course. But I have other accounts with much higher levels. So, I actually do know a lot about the game. And even if I'm not the best player in the world, I've done a ton of research. And pretty much for years, I've done lots of research. I have a lot of experience. And I can tell you firsthand that there are so many mistakes I made. And so many that I've tried to avoid this account. And so many I want to tell you guys about to make sure you don't run into the same problems. So let's go ahead and begin with number 1. Play the game every day. Now, I know a lot of people are going to immediately click off the video as soon as they hear this, because they're like, yeah, no way I can do that. I got school, I got so much work to do, and let me tell you, I'm in all honors classes, which is essentially equivalent to an AP course. So let me tell you, I'm really decked out, and I got tons of things to do, but the thing is, you really don't even have to play that long. What I mean by play every day doesn't mean you have to do every single event, every single battle, and, watch all the ads, complete all the daily missions, whatever it is. You don't have to do all that. Just come in, collect your coins, collect your resources, maybe do 1 or 2 battles, just kind of catch up and try to work on your regular missions and do whatever you want. Some days you'll be able to do more than others, and you know what? That's perfectly fine. Plan it out to your liking. And even if you can't get there every day, that's fine. On my old account, I haven't been able to play every day. But let me tell you, it produces phenomenal results playing every day. Let me tell you. Because I can say that from first-hand experience. Because on my old account, which I'd play maybe every 2 to 3 days, maybe basically 1 hour, 2 hours of playtime every week. And at this point in the game, I would still be at like level 7, I think, and my best creature was like a level 30 Majungasaurus. Now on this account, I'm at level 15 after maybe 2 weeks max, and I have a level 40 Triceratops, several rares, and a couple super rares even. So I have way better creatures, way nicer stuff, and that's all because I've been playing daily. Now, tip number 2 for me to you guys is don't spend money on the game. This is going to be an obvious one, and you might be probably laughing at me right now because if you watched episode 11, which there might be a chance you have because that episode got like 250 views, my goodness, thank you guys. But on that video, I actually bought my first pack. It was a terrible idea. I got a really mediocre creature for the price I paid, and it was really bad. Honestly, just completely shove it to the side. Don't think about it. I know it's tempting. I know sometimes when you're really frustrated, you want to buy a pack. Don't do it. Same thing with VIP. VIP is probably a little bit better, and I might get it sometime in the future, but still, if you are struggling to get by, if you legitimately don't have that much money, please don't consider this as an option. It's not worth it if you don't have the right amount of income to support this decision. Trust me, please, okay? This is honestly one of the most important tips. And plus, even if you do get lucky, which there's a small % chance you do, with buying a pack, it's not going to be as fun. The fun of the game is to go through all this hard work really hard to get all these awesome creatures, and then the fact that all you have to do to really get it is just press 1 button. Really, is that really how you want to play the game? I mean, maybe for you, but honestly for me, I'd rather just Play the game how it's supposed to be. Work for these creatures. I promise you, you will feel way more proud of yourself if you just get those creatures and resources legitimately. And that brings us to tip number 3. Participate in every event possible. This one kind of goes with the play every day tip, but it's a little bit different because events can last a couple days, of course, and the thing is, even if you're low leveled, you really need to participate in these. Actually, especially if you're low leveled. Honestly, this is probably one of the most game-changing tips that I can provide for you. And honestly, one that I don't think a lot of people bring up is that do the events early on. Don't do the events when you're way higher level, because they won't be worth it. This is the point that many high episode YouTubers who play this game experience. Just in episode 14, which was last episode, I literally got a Therizinosaurus, a legendary creature. If I had got that at level 70 or 80, that would just be okay. That'd be like, okay, whatever, but I have like dozens of other legendaries. Do these events, get these creatures while they matter, because I promise you, they will not be relevant after a little while. If you want to get a strong start, a strong lead, do these events, because these events, the thing is, the events will get harder. The difficulty of the events themselves will get harder, but the very unfair thing is, the resources don't get better. Your dinosaurs won't get better. One big example is the Mighty Money event. This one gives you $120. Now, if I were to do this right now on my level 15 game, it'd be pretty decent, but I wouldn't have to work that hard for it, But then if I was maxed out actually at level 99, I'd probably be facing creatures in the thousands of levels, if that makes any sense. And it would be really, really difficult, and all I'd get is that $120. You get what I mean? Just do these events early on. Like, this is honestly something that I wish I could go back to my old account and fix, but now I have the opportunity, and so do you. Now, coming in at number 4 is place decorations around your park. Again, this one is kind of a basic one because the game itself kind of tells you this one. But honestly, I don't think a lot of people strategize how important this is to the value of your park. It can really, really increase coin production. And also, be smart. Generally speaking, amphibians and herbivores produce more coins compared to pterosaurs and carnivores. However, sometimes in high-level carnivores, they can produce a lot. But generally speaking, it's really just herbivores that produce a lot. Make sure you look at what creatures all your expensive decorations need to go around your best creatures, the creatures that will produce you the most amount of coin. And I think that's very important to your success in the game, because coin's really important, even though sometimes I'm always like, oh yeah, I wish I could trade this coin, all my coin for this amount of buck, But honestly, coin is still really important, and it's really good to have a stable economy of it, because that's how you're going to get into events, and that's how you're going to buy a lot of new stuff. So it's important to have a good, sustainable income of it, and then you'll be perfectly fine. But then that brings us to tip number 5, halfway there, only buy the creature loyalty packs. Now, if you don't know what I mean by creature loyalty packs, essentially, if you go to your loyalty pack section of your card pack area, the little area where you can buy loyalty packs, you'll see plenty of different packs. There will usually be 3 VIP packs and 4 regular loyalty packs that you can buy with loyalty points. Now, this is very, very important, because I will tell you, honestly, out of all 3 accounts I played, not including this one technically because, well, I don't have enough to buy a loyalty pack yet, but as far as the other 2 go, I would not be where I would be if it weren't for what I bought with those VIP points, or loyalty points. It's crazy how influential they are to your game. And let me tell you, please, for God's sake, do not buy the $2,000 and $4,000, or not dollar, loyalty point packs. They suck. They're not worth it. But dude, just buy 10 amber pedestals and you can get a decoration with 10%, which is pretty much the standard for how much those cost. They're not worth it, especially if you don't play every day. Like for me, maybe it wouldn't be a huge drawback, but still, it sucks. Don't do it unless you really love it. Like the only time I've ever actually wanted to buy one of those is for the Spinosaurus skeleton decoration. That was the only time. Never else again did I want to buy one of those packs. In fact, I accidentally bought 2 of them on accident by misclick. They're so devastating. They serve no purpose. I don't even think they give you any cash either. Buy the solid gold packs, dude. You can also buy the $20,000 or 20,000 loyalty point packs, which usually allow you to unlock the creature. That's pretty good. But again, I'd recommend that a little bit later in the game when you really need to unlock those creatures, because it is like 2 times as much expensive too. But that is an option if you'd like that as well. But pretty much getting that solid gold pack is so key. And if you listen to tips 1 and 3 by playing the game every day, you will get these really fast. We're on like episode 15, about 2 weeks, and we're about to get our first loyalty pack creature. And I cannot wait. It is honestly the best use of those loyalty points. Coming in at number 6, don't send out good creatures during Code 19s. Again, this one is a pretty basic one. I don't really think this one will take much time. Just kind of a simple little tip, if you could even call it that. And that is, don't send out good creatures for Code 19s. Now, if you don't know the way Code 19s work, it can cause your dinosaurs to escape from their paddocks. And how you retrieve them is by, sending out different creatures. Now, unless if it's a really good creature that you need back pronto, then maybe you'd want to send out some better creatures. But don't send out your top level creatures to get back, your level 20 Triceratops. Just put in your weakest creatures unless if you need them immediately. And that's pretty much it. Again, really simple one, but for some reason all the time I see people putting out their best creatures. I'm like, come on, bro, don't do that. It's not worth it. But yeah, that's basically just that one. And then focus on quality over quantity. Now, what I'm talking about with this is focus on the quality of your creatures over your quantity. Honestly, this is one of the worst problems I had with my very first account. The thing is, my first account was played in the quote-unquote old game, the old school game, where you used to get so many creatures. You would unlock so many creatures. I think if you played the game since like 2017 or something, then you know what I'm talking about by the old game, where you get to unlock so many more creatures, and then they started restricting the amount of creatures you could get. But the thing is, my second account, which I started in 2020, so after they created the new system of the game where you couldn't unlock all those dinos, things were very different. And the thing is, though, that account's more successful. I have way better dinos because I focused on quality. I didn't just get the dino, level it up to level 10, and just leave it there. I would actually level them up. I have a level 30 T-Rex on that account, and I actually tried to get those creatures somewhere instead of just leaving them at level 10 and be like, oh yeah, that's perfectly fine. I really tried to push those creatures to their best possible level, and that's how I managed to be successful on that account compared to the first. So focus on quantity over quality. Give all your creatures focus. If you unlock a creature, go ahead and do it. Even if it's a common creature, like just a random common creature, still try to get it to maxed out. It can really help you in unexpected ways, especially during common only events or rarity specific events. Those can be really useful, and especially when you go through tournaments and stuff, or maybe even PvP battles where you have to go through the different tiers, and not all tiers require your best dinos, so just use some of them. They're really great filler dinos, or possibly even meat shields, which is a term I like to use a lot for dinos that I keep using just reserves on to reserve up action points. That's honestly a great tip, and I really want you guys to focus on that. So focus on quality over quantity. Number 8, we're almost there. Don't rely on just one creature. This is, again, one of the big mistakes I made on my first account. I had a Stingy Moloch. I have no idea how I got it, but I got a Stingy Moloch. And the rest of my creatures sucked. They were really bad, because I didn't care about my other creatures. The Stingy Moloch would literally defeat everything, so I didn't have to worry about it. But then came the day when I fought the T-Rex in Battle Stage 19, and it was awful. It was a terrible battle. I kept losing over and over again. I swear I did that battle over a dozen times, and I was so confused. Why didn't it work? Well, first of all, I didn't use the class advantage, which is another tip that's going to be on this list. But also, second of all, it was my only good creature that I used in that battle. You really gotta have your good creatures and the balance of good creatures. I know a lot of people like to prioritize carnivores and herbivores, But man, you gotta focus on those pterosaurs and those amphibians, especially the amphibians, because they're gonna be your main power against the carnivores. And speaking of power, moving on to number 9, we have use class advantage to your, advantage. Because class advantage, bro, honestly, I would not be where I was on any of the 3 accounts if it weren't for class advantage. Class advantage is a godsend. It is unbelievable how it works, and it will help you in every situation, even though it might cause problems for you also. Unless you're doing a PvP related battle, it completely changes the game. Like, you can put in half as good creatures but have them have the class advantage, and it won't be a problem at all. It is beautiful the way class advantage truly works. It is just amazing. So use this to your advantage really well. Make sure to study these, not just for the land animals, but also for the aquatic and Cenozoic parks. Make sure to just study those and just kind of have that at the back of your mind whenever entering into battle. Again, a pretty simple one, and this is one that the game already tells you, but make sure you really emphasize it because it's important. Don't be like me. Don't be like 9-year-old or however old I was then, me. Don't be like that. But finally, number 10, the final tip for this video, and I know you guys are gonna roll your eyes at this one, but be patient. Be patient with the game. I'm gonna tell you, this game is gonna make you frustrated. Maybe you didn't scream as loud as I did, maybe you just keep it in your head, but I promise you, at some point in this game, you will be frustrated really badly. Whether it's you worked so hard on a battle and you got a terrible reward, whether you spent money on the game and it was a complete waste of it, whatever it may be, you gotta give it time. Ludia does this, and I understand. Believe me, I know that pain. I know it. I feel it all the time, and you'll even see me get really worked up as the future episodes go on. Believe me, it's completely normal. Don't make dumb decisions. Don't spend thousands of dollars just because you didn't get the T-Rex Gen 2 that you wanted. Don't do that. You gotta be patient. You gotta give this time. Everybody takes time. They're not just called really good creatures for no reason. There's a reason why they're called legendary and tournament creatures. Like, they're gonna be hard to get, and not even just for creatures, but for DNA, for whatever it is you need, the resources, all of that stuff. Be patient with it, guys, and I promise for you, you will produce phenomenal results. And honestly, this is the biggest tip on here. I know it's corny. I know you don't want to listen to it, but it's true, honestly. So with that pretty much wraps up this video. There is a couple more minutes of this recording I have in the background of a couple battles I did, so I'm going to go ahead and let that play out. But I hope you guys really enjoyed this video, and if any of the tips were useful, make sure to leave a like on this video. If you'd like to correct me on anything, or add to something, or possibly even add some new tips that could be featured in a future video, please leave that in the comments down below. Hope you guys enjoyed this one. Thank you guys so much for watching this episode of Jurassic World the Game. This is Jurassic Insider, signing out.